Once upon a time in Germany, there was a cook named Gretel, and she would always wear bright shoes with red rosettes on them. She'd walk down the street thinking to herself, I look good. And when she would look at herself in the mirror when she was brushing her hair, or putting on a bit of makeup here or there, she would always say to herself, there you are. I missed you today. Well, when she went to work, she always had just a little bit of wine from the master's pantry, saying, a little bit of wine, well, it makes the tongue better to taste, and a cook's job is to taste. One day, her master came in and said, Gretel, I'm having a special guest tonight who knows lots and lots about food, so I want everything to be perfect. I want you to cook 2 of those little hens that we have out in the back lot there, and have them ready precisely at 6 o'clock. Of course, master, said Gretel, and she set to work right away, killing and plucking and getting the feathers out of the hens. And then she set to work making the gravy and stuffing to go with them. And as they were out on a spit slowly turning, time went by till it was just about 6 o'clock. And the birds, of course, were just about done. So she called out into the house, Master, if your guest doesn't come right away, these chickens won't be good anymore. They'll start drying out here on the spit. Is your guest here? And the master looked around and looked down the street and didn't see the guest anywhere. So he said, I'll go find out. And he ran down the street looking for his guest. Well, once the master was gone, the smell of those chickens was so overpowering for Gretel. She thought, that little wing right there looks like it's burning. I better take it off right now. And so she cut it off with her knife and tasted it, and it was good. And she thought to herself, well, a hen looks funny with just one wing. I better taste that one too. So she cut it off and ate it up. And as time went by and the master and the guest didn't arrive, she thought to herself, well, it's possible that maybe the guest isn't coming. Why don't I just finish off the rest of this bird? So she gobbled it up, and it was so good. It tasted even better than it had smelled. And that one was so good, she thought to herself, well, must be the master's gotten lost. Maybe he's having dinner out tonight. And so she ate up the other one too, and her belly was so full, and she felt so good and relaxed. Then when the master came rushing into the house, he said, hurry, hurry, Gretel, dish up, dish up. My guest is just at the end of the block. He'll be here any minute. And the master, he ran into the dining room and took out the great carving knife and began sharpening it to get it ready for carving the birds. The guest went to the front door, but as he was about to climb up the porch and knock on the door, Gretel went out the back door and went up to him and said, shh, come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. The guest came over and said, yeah, man, be careful. My master, he's gone crazy. You're so late. He's full of anger, and he's promised that should you come in the door, he will cut off both your ears with his sharp carving knife. You can hear him carving it right now. Listen. And sure enough, the guest could hear the scrape, scrape, scrape of the carving knife being sharpened on a sharpening stone. His face turned pale, and he turned and ran off down the street. And right then, Gretel ran back around to the back of the house, ran into the house and said, Master, Master, what kind of guests do you invite to this house? And the master stopped and looked and said, well, what do you mean, Gretel? Well, that man, he sneaked in the back door, and he smelled the chickens, and he ran up and he grabbed the 2 of them off the spits and took off down the street. What? Now? Yes, just a moment ago, she said. And forgetting to set down the knife, he ran out the front door and began yelling after his guest, leave one, at least leave one. And he started running after the guest. The guest, of course, thought he meant his ears, that the master was going to cut off just one of his ears, maybe. But that made him even more frightened, so he kept on running. And the 2 of them ran the rest of that night, until the guest finally disappeared into the city. And Gretel, she sat down there in the kitchen and looked at the 2 rosettes on her shoes and said, how pretty my shoes look on a day like today. And she rested. And that's the end of the story.